Chapter 3. At the end of the story, Mr. Bear promised Edith he'd stay with her forever.
Forever and ever,
Emma shouted along with Little Bear. We said the book's last three words together. And they did. When I was little, I wanted a doll just like Edith, I told Emma.
I want one too,
Emma said.
but Mommy says they're very, very expensive.
I sighed, thinking about things that cost too much to own. A horse, a mountain bike like Stacy's, a swimming pool in the backyard, even a doll. The front door opened and Dad stopped at the threshold to grin at Emma, who ran to him. What a nice surprise! Dropping his briefcase, he scooped Emma up and gave her a hug. Look at you, just as beautiful as your mommy! Emma laughed and kissed Daddy's nose. The kitchen door swung open. Mom and Dulcie seemed to have made up after their quarrel, but Mom still looked tense, worried, uneasy. It's good to see you, stranger. Dad put Emma down and gave Dulcie a hug and a kiss. It was a long hug, I thought. I glanced at Mom. She was watching the two of them, but I couldn't read her expression, except that I could tell she wasn't happy. What brings you here? Dad asked Dulcie. I'm in a group show at a DC gallery next fall, Dulcie said. Emma and I took the train down so I could talk to the owner. Since we were so close, I called Claire, and she picked us up at the station. We're going back to New York tomorrow morning. Emma grabbed Dad's hand.
Mommy wants Allie to babysit me at the lake, but Aunt Claire says she can't.
Dad turned to Dulcie and raised his eyebrows. Sycamore Lake? I drove to the cottage a couple of weeks ago, Dulcie said. Considering how long it's been empty, it's in pretty good shape. A couple of broken windows, a few leaks in the roof, and a dozen or more mice nesting in the cupboards. Dulcie glanced at Mom. A trap will take care of the mice, and I've hired a contractor to fix everything else. By the time he's done, Gold Cottage will have electricity, indoor plumbing, fresh paint inside and out, a new roof, and the old boathouse will be my studio. In other words, it'll be better than new. Dad turned to Mom. So why can't Allie babysit Emma? You know I hate the lake. Mom's voice rose a few notches, tense, anxious. Allie could drown. She could get Lyme disease from a deer tick. She could get bit by a snake. Oh, for heaven's sake! Ignoring Mom's whimper protest, Dad looked at me. How do you feel about the idea, Allie? I want to go, I said. Stacy will be away all summer. I'm sick of the swimming pool and the softball team. And of Mom watching me all the time, I wanted to add, keeping me on a leash, owning me. Instead, I said, the lake would be fun, an adventure, something different.
Please, please, pretty please,
Emma begged.
I'll be so lonely without Allie.
Oh, let her go, Claire, Dad said. She loves Dulcie and Emma, and they love her.
I'll take good care of Allie,
Dulcie put in.
I won't let her or Emma run wild, I promise. You'll get absorbed in your painting and forget all about them,
Mom muttered. Dulcie exhaled sharply, clearly exasperated.
I've had sole responsibility for Emma since she was a baby. Does she look neglected?
The argument went on during dinner, which made it hard to enjoy the pasta topped with Dulcie's special marinara sauce, concocted from her ex-husband's Italian grandmother's recipe.
It's the only good thing I ever got from that man, Dulcie said. Besides Emma, of course.
Dad laughed and Mom allowed herself to smile, and they returned to the argument. Round and round they went, saying the same things over and over again. Mom refused to give in. I was too young to leave home for a whole summer. Too young to be responsible for Emma. At the end of the meal, Dad laid his fork and knife on his plate and said, I've heard enough. Allie's a sensible, responsible girl. There's absolutely no reason why she shouldn't spend the summer at the lake. Mom put her coffee cup down and stared at him, obviously shocked. Pete, please. Whatever she was about to say, she was drowned out by Emma's shout of joy.
Hooray, hooray!
She jumped up from the table and ran to hug Dad.
Thank you, Uncle Pete, thank you.
I looked at Mom uneasily, taking in the defeated slump of her shoulders. Say it's okay, I begged. Say I can go and you won't be mad. or hurt, or betrayed, or worried. She wiped her mouth carefully with her napkin. If it means so much to you, go. Without looking at anyone, she rose from the table and began gathering the dinner plates. The set of her jaw and her jerky movements clearly showed her anger. Give me a break, Claire. Give me a break, Claire. Don't get in one of your moods. Dulcie picked up a few glasses and followed Mom into the kitchen. Carrying the serving bowls, I trailed after them, with Emma close behind, clasping a fistful of spoons and forks. She handed them to Mom, then ran off to the living room. Without speaking to anyone, Mom began loading the dishwasher. It's the silent treatment, Dulcie whispered to me. She inherited it from our mother, and perfected it. I turned away, unwilling to criticize Mom. Dulcie was right, of course. Silence and tears were Mom's weapons. But it made me uncomfortable to agree with my aunt. After all, I had no reason to complain. I'd won. I was going to Sycamore Lake. Leaving Mom to clean up, I followed Dulcie into the living room. Dad was reading The Lonely Doll to Emma in a sweet, bumbling bear voice. I perched on the arm of Dulcie's chair. Can I ask you something? Sure, sweetie. Dulcie pushed her hair back from her face. Her long, dangly silver earrings swayed and her bracelets jingled. She smiled, waiting for me to speak. Well, a couple of months ago I found an old Nancy Drew book in a box in the attic. While I was leafing through it, a photograph fell out. It was of you and Mom at Sycamore Lake. I could see the water behind you. Dulcie smiled. Your grandfather loved taking pictures. Every time you turned around, there he was, pointing a camera at you. They were usually awful pictures. We thought he had a special ugly lens he used for our pictures. There was another girl with you, I said, but all that shows is her shoulder and arm. The rest is torn off. Another girl? Dulcie shook her head and her soft hair brushed my cheek. We didn't have any friends at the lake. Gold Cottage sits out on a point all by itself. There were no other kids around, just your mother and me. Grandmother wrote your name and Mom's name on the back, I went on, trying to make her remember. She wrote the girl's name too, but only the first letter is there. T. T? An odd look crossed Dulcie's face. Did you ask your mother about the girl? I told her I didn't remember. Mom stood in the doorway, her hands clasped, staring solemnly at her sister. I don't remember either, Dulcie said quickly. What did you do with the picture, Mom? Maybe if Dulcie saw it... I threw it away, she said. It was old, torn, faded. Without another word, she picked up a gardening book and began to read, her way of saying she was still in a bad mood. Before I could ask another question, Dulcie scooped up Emma. Time for bed. But Uncle Pete is still reading about Edith and the bears, she said. You know that story by heart, sweetheart. Ignoring Emma's further protest, Dulcie carted her off to the guest room. Dad turned on the TV to watch one of his favorite crime shows. It looked as if no more would be